The smooth ride on Nice Road has become far from pleasant in the recent past. Indiscriminate dumping of construction waste in vacant plots is causing major problems to commuters here. Take a look.
Even as the city is grappling to solve the garbage crisis, there is another problem that is gaining notorious proportions. That is illegal dumping of construction debris on the outskirts. With no designated location for dumping of construction debris, the industry dumps are finding their way to vacant plots on the outskirts of the city. One such plot is in survey number 25/1 in Komakhatta village off Nice Road. Construction debris and other solid waste is illegally dumped here, risking the lives of thousands of motorists who use this stretch every day. One gust of wind and the sharp dust is blown to the road, obstructing their view and causing a major hazard.
ಟ್ರಾವೆಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಈ ಥರ ಡಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಂಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರೀತಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಣ್ಣು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನಾರ ಬೇರೆ ಬ್ರೀತಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆದಾಗ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವರು ಹೆಲ್ಮೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ದಿರ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಥರ ಆದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಗಾಡಿನ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಒರೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಾಗಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಹೋಗಿ ಗುದಿಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಗಾಡಿಗೆ ಗುದ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂಥ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಗಳು ಆಗಬಹುದು.
But the promoters of the expressway, the Nandi Infrastructure Corridor Enterprise, have expressed helplessness. NICE officials say that although 11.2 acres of land is acquired for this project, the KIADB has not officially handed the possession of the land and Khata has not been transferred. Hence, they are unable to take legal action against the offenders.
They did not transfer the land to our name. Neither did they change the Khata or RTC in the KIDB name, okay, to protect it. So now this owner goes and uses this as a dump yard, okay, dumping all kinds of construction debris and things like that. If you see it's everything, medical waste, all kinds of construction waste, garbage, everything is dumping here. So what this is doing is this is right next to our road. This is creating environmental hazard for the area, okay, for the residents close to the area, and also the garbage mafia is involved, so people are afraid to speak about it. So now a lot of snakes, rats, everything comes. Plus, when wind blows, all this dust comes on the road, and it obstructs the view of the motorist who's going at high speed, because it's an expressway. Is going high speed. It creates a driving hazard.
It was only recently that the KIADB had transferred the Khata to its name from the landowners. The Pollution Control Board has issued guidelines to KIADB to take measures to stop the dumping, and the situation has improved slightly in the past few weeks. Now NICE authorities is asking the government to clear the debris before handing over the land to them. But why should the money of the public exchequer be wasted clearing the debris when the mafia has made crores dumping it here? Harish Upadhyaya, News9, Bengaluru.
Footpaths have been a major bone of contention in the city, but in Vinayak Nagar in Bengaluru, revamping a footpath has angered residents. Here's why.
This was the war of words that ensued between the women of a locality and their corporator. Even as the enraged homemakers were lambasting the BBMP for wasting money on unnecessary works, the corporator was desperately trying to defend the Palike. These were the scenes witnessed in Vinayaka Nagara layout in Bengaluru today. The bone of contention was the construction of this footpath. The residents who were not convinced with the constant construction activities were seen complaining that there was no need for the Palike to construct a new footpath when the existing one was just a year old. According to them, the existing footpath was in good shape and the exercise taken up by the corporator was only to waste money.
Replacing the same thing they have done. Last year also they did the same thing, and even this time also they are doing the same. They are putting the same stones and everything. I don't think so. This is a purely residential area. Everybody is having their own parking inside their house. For park people, they are providing this. I don't think it is necessary. Unnecessarily they are spending this.
But the corporator has a different explanation to the project. Vinayaka Nagara layout has a park spread across 2.5 acres that is bustling with activity in the mornings. But a peculiar problem had cropped up with the park users being forced to park their vehicles by the roadsides as the footpath is fairly elevated. The parking was also leading to regular traffic congestions in the peak morning hours. After receiving various complaints, the corporator Vagesh has decided to flatten the footpath to ground level to enable parking, and the works for the same are underway. The project has been taken up at a cost of rupees 14 lakhs.
Reconstruction the reconstruction the footpath and drain for the purpose of the people only, for the parking area, and we have to remove the silt. You see the condition of the drainage now. Almost 100 to 200 tractors of silt has been removed last from 10 days. In another 10 days it will be completed, and definitely it will be helpful for the public and the traffic also.
But the angry residents feel had the footpath been retained, it could have saved rupees 14 lakhs. They also claim if parking became a regular affair here, then it could be a hindrance to the pedestrians and commuters all through the day. Well, for the residents, the works are unnecessary and a waste of money. But on the other hand, the corporator and his men are brimming with confidence about completing the works in 10 days' time. Will the standoff come to an end? Shobha Jojiga for News9, Bengaluru.
Moving on, an alleged suicide pact by a family of 4 failed dramatically when people found them unconscious. Following the death of his 10-year-old daughter, the father breathed his last today.
Yesterday, we reported how a family of 4 attempted suicide by consuming poison. The 10-year-old Sridevi sadly passed away. Today, the father, 45-year-old Kumarappa, too passed away at the Baptist hospital. The family is suspected to have taken the extreme step because of huge debts. Kumarappa, who ran Sridevi milk parlour a few meters from their house at Chamundi Nagar and Arti Nagar, incurred loans while trying to expand his business. They also started a chit fund business because the milk business wasn't enough to sustain the family. The chit business also sank when people failed to pay him. Though they were immediately rushed to the hospital, the girl did not survive. While the mother Kusma and the 18-year-old son Prajwal are still critical, they are being treated at Victoria Hospital in the city. The cops who are investigating the case are trying to find out if the 2 kids knew that their food was poisoned. Kumarappa, the father, had been booked for murder, attempt to murder and abetment to suicide. Bansi Kalappa, News9, Bengaluru.
A couple, Kavita and Manjunath, have been arrested by Subramanya Nagar police. For the last 1.5 years, Kavita was working as a maid in a house owned by one Jayalakshmi. Just behind the police station, the owner's son and daughter-in-law would go away to Jigani on work every day and return only by night. So Jayalakshmi would remain alone. In order to give her company, Kavita was asked to stay with her in the same house. Kavita, using this as an opportunity, would steal gold ornaments from the house. You may find it difficult to believe, but in all, Kavita stole ornaments weighing about 540 grams, whose market value is about 13 lakhs in total. Later, she would pass on the ornaments to her lover Manjunath, who would pledge them in Palakkad. With the money he got, he had even opened a Xerox shop in the same area. Well, that is Kavita, the accused, along with Manjunath, who, in the pretext of being friends with Kavita, would rob ornaments, would steal ornaments from the house and give it to her lover Manjunath. Manjunath would then pledge it in Palakkad, and then with the money he got, he even opened a Xerox shop around his area. Protecting the environment and keeping our city clean is taught to everyone right from school days, but unfortunately we seldom follow it. So students from St. Joseph's College decided to give people on the streets a little demo. Take a look.
Take a look at these people cleaning up the streets. No, they are not BBMP workers. These are students from St. Joseph's College who were on a drive to educate people on environmental protection. They cleaned up garbage lying on the road. Another group of students stood at different traffic signals with various placards educating the public about the ill effects of littering on the roads and other messages relating to protecting the environment.
This particular program is about increasing awareness of the environment amongst the people, which includes turning off the engine at the signals and not littering the city. So we are going around picking garbage in a view that someone will look at it and say, okay, the next time when I'm about to throw something off on the road, I won't do it. And we're also taking signatures for a petition for a petition against water privatization. We're going and talking to people randomly on the streets and talking to them about the perils of water privatization, and that's the aim of this project.
Enthusiastic students even spoke to vehicle users at different traffic signals, urging them to switch off the vehicle while waiting for the signal to turn green.
Basically, first of all, it's about the traffic rules. We are trying to tell other people to save fuel as much as we can, because it will be useful for our future generation. And the next thing, we are going and picking up the garbage, and indirectly we are telling them message that please don't throw the dust wherever you want to. Initially I felt a little awkward, but then I felt very good that I have done something good to, at least for this part, if not for anything bigger. I have done something good for a smaller part. Maybe if we all will contribute small, it can make a huge difference.
Many were left impressed with the students. It was a unique and innovative way of spreading awareness among Bangaloreans. The students just hope that their efforts do not go in vain. Deepak Bopanna for News9, Bengaluru.
While the rags to riches stories are widely discussed, very few are aware of the riches to rags story of this Kannada actor. Actor Uma Shri paid a visit to yesteryear actor Rajendra Krishna at the old age home where he now stays.
93-year-old actor Rajendra Krishna had a lush career in the Kannada film industry decades ago. But as fate would have it, he spent majority of the last decade living in a shack on the footpath in Sheshadripuram. That was until a few months ago when he was moved to an old age home in Vivipuram. Umashri visited the place today to meet the yesteryear actor.
ಅನೇಕ ಹಳೆಯ ಸಿನಿಮಾಗಳು ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಕಬೀರ ಪುರಂದರದಾಸರು ರಾಣಿ ಹೊನ್ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಥರ ಚಿತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಸ್ವಾಭಿಮಾನಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಸ್ವಾಭಿಮಾನಿಗಳು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ನೋವು ಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಸ್ವಭಾವದವರು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
Rajendra Krishna now lives under a proper roof and is provided with 3 meals a day. But it was not always this comfortable for the former actor. The aging man had been surviving on alms when he was looking after a public toilet in Sheshadripuram. With no surviving family members, he was being taken care of by one Narayanamma and her daughter, who lived with him in the shack next to the toilet. Narayanamma worked as a sweeper who earned roughly about 2,000 rupees per month from the corporation. Despite that, the family used to take care of Rajendra's food, clothing and shelter. Rajendra used to barely have 1 meal a day since Narayanamma was the only earning member. And this was after he had acted in more than 25 Kannada films and even portraying the role of Rajkumar's real daddy on the big screen. Despite going through a harrowing time, he never sought help from anybody, as he had lived a respectable life before and he did keep himself busy with paintings. Rajendra has not lost his love for acting and continues to write dialogues for his dream movie that he hopes to star in someday. Pavitra, News9, Bengaluru.